Here with Kyle Dyer, who is leaving 9 News after 20 years. Wednesday, September 7th is your last day.
It's crazy, 20 years. It's almost as long as I lived in DC where I grew up.
Why?
So much has changed here. I mean, my life has changed being in Denver.
I gotta know, why? What was it that made you say, after 20 years here and even longer in the business, that it was time for something new?
The last 2 years have been among my favorites here at 9 News.
Most people leave because it's bad, not because it's good.
No. I have learned so much about Denver, and through all the reporting I've done and the storytelling, there is so much rich material out there. So I want to continue telling those stories. And there are so many different ways to get stories out. So I am going to start my own business, a storytelling business, and working with individuals, companies, non and for-profit foundations, and getting the word out about their programs that are making a positive impact and the why. And be able to tell people why they should care about these programs and show them the difference they're making in our community.
You've always gravitated toward positive stories,
Love
uplifting stories. Explain the difference between a positive story and a fluff story.
Okay, so a fluff story is fun to watch, right? Their feature stories are fun. I think the positive stories show what people are doing, be it somebody who, and I've met a lot of people who are going through great challenge, and through their attitude, they're coming out of it. Or of a program that started as a little something with like 4 people working, and now it's impacting, at-risk high school kids throughout Denver. You show the positive difference people are making. And hopefully through my stories, I've engaged an audience and said, wow, I didn't know that. And maybe kind of advocated for the cause. Maybe someone will be like, share the word about it. Or, maybe it'll inspire somebody to do something good in their own lives.
So some journalists see advocacy as a dirty word. I don't, and you don't either.
No. Isn't that what we're all here for? To support one another? Outreach, advocacy. I'm not saying go sign up for the Race with the Crew, we say go sign up, for things that we support here at 9 News. But, I think if we can inspire somebody to get involved in their community, to help build it and make it a better place, I see nothing wrong with that.
Over the years, you have told a lot of stories of people who refuse to be defined by one single bad thing that happened to them.
Yes.
And that's your story too.
It sure is. With the bad things that happen, there's always good that comes out of it. Yeah, I was bit and I became the social media person. Everyone saw me get bit by a dog on live TV. But I think in many ways that kind of changed things for me, because I was going a mile a minute, going on 4 hours of sleep every night and trying to do it all, because don't we all, especially moms, try to do it all. And that made me stop and really reflect and pray and see what's really important in my life. And that's kind of helped me decide that I needed to leave the morning show to be more present for my family. So yeah, that hurt. And it kind of stunk for a while to have your mouth all taped up and you couldn't talk. I couldn't talk. But there is positive. And that's what I found with people here in this community. There's so many people that go through a lot of stuff, and it doesn't keep them down,
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever said or done on the air?
Oh, there are lots, aren't there?
The trick is to remember them and not block them out.
I was interviewing in the days when we did satellite interviews. I interviewed, oh gosh, I called him Matt Damon, his best friend. Now I'm embarrassed because I can't remember the story. Good Will Hunting.
Ben Affleck.
I can't even tell the story.
Damon.
So I was interviewing Ben Affleck. At the end of this conversation, I'm like, thanks so much, Matt. It was great to talk to you. And he's like, Kyle, this is Ben. But I love you just the same. And I'm like, oh my God, on TV. But don't we do everything embarrassing every day?
Sure.
And that you just got to keep rolling with it. Everybody does. So.
Sure. Let's talk about the morning of the Aurora Theater shooting. You were here alone. For hours.
Right.
For hours and hours. What was that morning like from your seat, from this seat?
Surreal. Got the call like 12:30 or so, came in. We didn't really know what was going on. And to sit there and watch those early interviews while the theater still kind of milling around, not really noticing what's going on. It was breaking my heart to see this is happening here. And we didn't know where the gunman was at the time. And it was frightening. But as you know, you can't freak out on TV. Everyone else is. You got to kind of keep it together. And it was hard. It was a hard day. And then you go home and you kind of just like everybody else. But it was very surreal. Because of the middle of the night factor too, it just didn't seem like it was really happening.
I'm glad that you were here. I came in later that morning, we spent some time together, but I'm glad that you were here because I think the people who had woken up with you for 15, 20 years in Denver needed to see you on that morning. I think that was important to people.
Well, I'm glad I was here. I mean, yeah.
What can you do other than just be there and try to be honest about what's happening?
And that's what you do in those stories. You just have to be honest. Like, this is what's going on. You know, we're learning this information. It is troubling, yes, and we're trying to find out more information. You just kind of have to hold the hand of the viewer. We're kind of going through this together, although we don't want to, but we are. Step
by step by step. All right, let's finish with something that's more fun. So that was one of the 2 days that we have worked directly together on the anchor desk.
Doesn't happen much.
In the 9 years that we've both been here together, since I got here, we've worked together twice on the morning show. And the other morning, you would think that somebody ahead of time would have figured out that both anchors are named Kyle, and that as our stories go into the teleprompter, that might create some confusion.
Right, who reads the story that says Kyle at the top? And then they tried Kyle C, Kyle D.
Which did not help at all. So like each hour, it started out Kyle and Kyle, then it became Kyle C and Kyle D, and then I think we eventually, by the end of the morning, got to Kyle and Clark, which was great for you, but still not a fantastic system for me.
Well, thank you for having me here on Next to talk about my next.
Well, thank you. This is a place where we appreciate good stories and the people who tell them and the people who are willing to share them. So for that, we have always admired your work.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
And look forward to what you're going to do next.
See?
Yeah. Good luck.
I think you just had me on just so you could say that.
No, I promise you that is not the reason. But
okay.
Thank you for everything that you've done for the community and everything that you're going to keep doing.
I still will.
Our paths will keep crossing.
Absolutely, they will. All right, thanks.
Kyle Dyer, thanks.